Okay, we're back with Kevin Jamison of the Veterans Community Project here with our Q&A portion, and we're going to invite our first questioner up to the mic. Come on down, Phyllis.
Really enjoyed everything that you had to say, Kevin. That was just absolutely wonderful. And you and I have chatted a lot before. The question that I have as the content director for Executive Life, I have been trying to bring together a lot of the different stories and things, and that's how we met. And Emma Toops and David, and I've met so many people. And then when I meet other people that are involved with different aspects of helping veterans, I will say something like, well, do you know Kevin Jamison? And they say no. And I say, do you know Emma Toops? Do you know? And they're all these people are trying to help. And I'm seeing that there's no coordination. And I sit there with my phone. Let me send you their phone number. Let me send you this. And I'm trying to get people together. Is there, I know you're going to have your community center right there. Right. Is there something that I could be giving out right now to help connect all of these people? Or is it, is it something that is definitely needed?
Yeah, there's something definitely needed, and there's a couple efforts that are being done. There's the Purple Group that is doing that. Emma's leading that, but there's several efforts out there. But you know, networking is networking, and you don't know what you don't know until you figure it out.
Right.
And that's why I go to as many events as I can, because I'm always meeting different people that can get involved. And as I come across these veteran organizations, we always look for ways that we can partner and work together. I think with the spirit of the newer veteran organizations and nonprofits that are popping up today is that they want to work together.
Right.
There's not that competition, and most of the time they haven't worked together. They don't know about each other because they're working on a different problem. Mm-hmm. And then what happens is you find ways that you can have synergy to work together on. I can leverage. How do I leverage Warriors Ascent to help me? Mm-hmm. How can Warriors Ascent leverage me to help them? Or
right.
how does a group like Healing Waters? How do they support me? How do I support them? And so you look for ways that you can work together. You look for ways to partner, and what I love about these other veteran groups and organizations that I work with is it's the camaraderie is always there. I like that.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Is it needed? Yes. Will it happen? I don't know. Can it ever happen? Can we ever find out? It'd be, in a perfect world, we would know every resource and it would all be connected. But that kind of takes the fun out of networking and working hard.
Right. We recently got a very nice article from Sean Moore, who has recently received the Elizabeth Dole Hidden Heroes Award and is now representing Missouri. And I met Brian the last time that I was out at the Tiny Houses. Uh-huh. The magazine under our public service category or column is going to be writing a lot more articles, and then of course you're going to bring this in. But for anybody that is involved with different pieces, aspects to help these guys, I would love to have them come to us. We really want those articles to go into Executive Life magazine. So okay, well, make sure and say that we want to be a voice.
All right. Great.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phyllis. Come on down.
Good, thank you again. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
We were captivated listening, weren't we? It wasn't just, okay, we've got another, it was really captivating. Some of us had no idea, and I have 2 sons. I have 6 sons, but 2 of them, one Army and one Air Force. And, it brings it home, and because I've heard a lot of stories, and so I was wondering, in terms of staffing right now, do you have full-time staff that are paid, to serve? How many?
Yes, we do.
Could you tell a little about the staffing right now, what they do?
Right now, we have 5 full-time employees, and Chris is the CEO, and myself. I do a bunch of different things, and then we have Brian, who's our chief legal officer. He's an attorney. And then we have Brandon, who's our facilities director, and then we have Adam Aberson, who's our director of operations for the center, and he also coordinates and directs all our volunteer projects. Our roles are very unique now that we opened the Veteran Outreach Center. So Chris we all work with the veterans that walk in one-on-one as well. I focus mainly on housing and utility assistance and things like that, or housing resources. Chris has executive level resources, so he's used to working. He does a lot with people that are having problems with maybe with the VA or healthcare, or finding organizations that can help them. We get a lot of requests for spouses that need assistance, because there's not any programs really existing within the city that exist just to serve veteran spouses. And then Brian is already providing free legal services to veterans. So we do that on top of, we're all home builders first, on top of coordinating the village. And Brandon's job is to coordinate the builds, and we all go out and we seek resources to help bring people in, and we seek resources to help bring businesses in and help people connect with us. So the funny thing is when you have viral videos that are over 40 million views, you have a bunch of, people think you're this big oiled machine, and it's like, look, we're just 4 dudes working, trying our best to keep this together. We're not there yet. The funds haven't quite caught up with us. But we've had to grow to complete our mission, and it's always about us serving the vets.
Right.
And so that's why we work hard with helping the veterans. And the funny thing was, we were talking about the other day, it's like, we hope we never get to the point to where we're not working one-on-one with the veterans. That, we all enjoy that aspect. We also know that we are getting pulled all over the United States right now. People are requesting us to help, but we decided from the very set, when we were thinking about growing nationally, when our story took off and everything happened, we decided we have to complete what we're doing in Kansas City. We have to get it right. We have to refine that program in Kansas City before we can take it anywhere else.
Yeah, and what, just a couple quick ones. Where is the center? Probably everybody here knows, but I don't. Where is the center?
The center is located at 8900 Truce, about a half a block from our village.
Oh, really? And the village, 89th and Troost.
Right.
And where is the village?
Is
it on the east side of Troost?
It's on the east side.
I was figured.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the other side of a storage place.
Really?
So what happened was, we had these plans, and this is what I talk about. We don't operate like a traditional nonprofit. We had these plans to build a 7,000 square foot community center on the property to serve veterans that are in the village and veterans in the city. And one day Chris was driving and saw that building was for sale. And we moved pretty fast on it. We closed on it March 1st, and we opened it March 30th. And we did a lot.
Which year?
This year.
Wow.
The same month.
Okay.
But that's a testament to, we worked 100-hour weeks. It's a testament to our dedication. It's a testament to, it's a testament to be able to adjust, to save money, and to be able to serve veterans quicker. Not only that, but we're able to have a building now where we're all operating out of, where we're all able to touch base, coordinate, and work, because we operate less of like a traditional business, and we operate like a fire team. So what that means is we all know the goal, we all have our separate jobs, we come in, touch base, and we go back out, and we're all doing our things, so we don't limit each other. We try to operate in our lane, we're able to be creative, we're able to go out and make new partnerships and develop that all on our own, and because we trust each other and believe in each other.
Yeah, good.
So,
hey, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Come on down, Emma.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know me, and just so the others do as well, I'm the chapter president of the Kansas City Association of United States Army. And my question is, because now that you have the center up and going, we've talked for probably over a year now how the chapter, KCA USA, will partner and support the Veterans Community Project. And I think where we really can leverage each other in the support is in our being an educational nonprofit. Our purpose is to provide a voice for the Army and support for the soldiers. And we do have program priorities in what we do as a chapter on transitioning military, young professionals, and connecting the business and military communities. So I know that part of what you want to offer through your center is career services. Right. So what is kind of the plan as far as bringing that into the center and with resources, personnel, or events or activities?
So our goal is to is to provide a place for people to provide services to veterans to go. So we're slowly building that. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a schedule where different organizations that provide employment services can come to the center, and if veterans are seeking that type of assistance, they know to come there on that day. That's the first thing. The second thing is by providing a space where classes can be taught. So let's say somebody wants to teach a computer literacy class. We've got a space. We're going to have computers there for them to teach that class. Resume writing, stuff like that. But one of the byproducts of going out and talking to businesses and communicating to the business world what you're doing is I also challenge businesses to support us by creating a job for a veteran. And so, and connecting other resources, I've found different grants. There's a great grant in Kansas that'll reimburse an employer for half the person's salary if they hire a veteran.
Right.
And so
Right.
it's trying to make those connections between different groups. It's also providing a space for organizations like yours to come work out and serve the veteran.
Perfect.
And then we don't want to limit ourselves. Like right now, we have the traditional stuff that's always done for employment, but I would love for people that want to hire veterans to start just coming in there and taking applications and interviews. We want to take
Okay.
the next step. We want to be actively a part of that. And it's going to take us a while because we haven't done a lot of advertising for the Outreach Center. So it's going to, as the word hits the street and travels around the street that we're serving veterans and we're doing a good job, it's going to grow exponentially. We're aware of that, and we're also trying to get the word out. So that's one of the challenges. At the same time, we're also talking to people like you. We're going to be starting to have meetings for who's going to provide services, who wants to do that, and developing a schedule for our veterans at the Outreach Center.
Great. I think we really have huge potential for this partnership between our organizations because we do have a huge emphasis on supporting transitioning military with career services, and we have part of their leadership team. I mean, that's what they do in their professional work. Right. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool. Me too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emma.
Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
You talked a lot about providing a place for the veterans to live, services like dental, health, all that. My question is about the community. Have you thought at all about community gardens or providing food or getting the veterans involved in planting their own
I'm
stuff?
glad you mentioned that. Yeah, we have three community gardens on the property in our designs right now. I'm partnering with an organization called Slow Foods. As a matter of fact, I speak to them next week and present to them, and they're going to be sponsoring the garden and helping to teach, growing, organic foods for the veterans to eat. But we also, in taking the next step further, what you got to remember is our gardens are oriented. I always tell people this, it's a great joke, and I'll say it again. As long as what they're growing in the garden is legal, I'm good. You know what I mean? So, but the truth is our gardens are there for therapeutic reasons. Everything that we've done in our program is designed around recovery from trauma, and it's very minor details, but that garden is there for therapy. It's also there, to grow food. We're also going to let veterans, have window boxes and whatever they want to do, and their own private space. And so, yes, the answer is yes. The other thing is we've got a mobile grocery bus that will be coming onto the property. So, what people fail to understand is before I can teach somebody to garden and grow food, I also need to teach them how to cook. I also need to teach them how to clean and take care of a kitchen. I also need to teach them how to store food. So those have to be joint efforts as well. Along with you have some guys that experience anxiety in social environments, so you have to kind of ease them into that. So one of the things that we have is we have a mobile grocery store that's on a bus that will be coming off the property, so that our case managers can work with them one-on-one, and then eventually work them into a grocery store trip on their own on a bus. And it's all crawl, walk, run mindset is what we have. On top of that, in the Outreach Center, we'll be having a veteran-only food pantry pretty soon. It's going to take a couple months to bring that online, but we couldn't bring it online right away. But we will be having a food pantry as well in the Outreach Center for veterans in the city.
Great.
Did that answer your question?
That did answer
All
my
right.
question. Thank you very much.
Good to go.
Thank you.
Hi, Kevin. Thank
Hi.
you very much. I just want to follow up a little bit.
Sure.
Into the mic. Okay, there we go. All right. So I spent about 6 years really involved with City Union Mission. And one of the things that drew me into that was when I found out, I mean, I first started sticking my toes in the water, and then I found out how many homeless veterans there were. To me, I was oblivious to that.
Right.
And I know, and following up kind of on Phyllis's question and communicating with everyone, of course, you weren't around at that time, but now with that, I know you talked about other organizations. Is there a way that you're communicating, like with City Union Mission, with all the vets that they have and stuff that are homeless, of what's going on and kind of interweaving into their programs?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we helped a veteran at City Union Mission last week who I got a call from one of the counselors at City Union Mission. His wife was in Evansville, Indiana. He was on his way back to see her, and he got broke down in Kansas City. And he was homeless in Kansas City, staying at City Union Mission. All he needed was a $120-something bus ticket to get home.
Yeah.
So we did that, and that's the type of stuff we do. But the answer is yes. The case managers know us. We're starting to gain a reputation as a
Okay,
resource that you can contact. If you can't find anybody else to help a veteran, you can call us. And we really try to never say no. We try to serve the veteran and get them the help that they need. We do that through networking, established networks. We call people. We both used to work in the homeless service community, so we still have our contacts. And it's just getting out to people and meeting them. And so when we develop new resources, we go in and talk to them. And I sit down and get a face-to-face contact because I don't like to send a veteran to a place in the blind. I like him to be able to talk, but I have the same phone number that I had, 4 years ago. And
Okay.
every veteran that I've ever worked with, homeless or not, has my number. The same number that goes to the CEO of a business goes to a homeless veteran on the street. And every veteran I work with can talk to me. And every veteran that I've networked with or worked with in other agencies, they know they can call my number and get that help, as well as Chris, as well as Brian. So we have networked into other agencies. We do have formal relationships with some. We're starting to develop MOUs with others. So the answer is yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you mentioned how you're trying to fill in the gaps, and I can definitely see that, Kevin. It's awesome, and I'm in. We'll need to talk a little bit more.
All right, thank you.
Okay, one more question. We got a double dip from Phyllis.
Yeah, double dip here. I just wanted to say, I heard you say that you didn't know of any organizations right here that were actually helping spouses.
Right.
And I just wanted to say that is exactly the Sean Moore that I mentioned. She is, the Elizabeth Dole is for veterans with PTSD, but she, as a representative from Missouri, is working on the spouse side. And she is a police officer for the Kansas City, Missouri police force. So she has some extra talents and knowledge to help those spouses and everything. So I wanted to mention it to you if you didn't know. And I
Give me
also
your
wanted to tell
information
everybody
out
else that's going to be watching these videos. So yes, that is out there. It's one of those things we need to help get connected to.
Well, there's a program called TAPS too. I was just talking about trying to, see, there's an organization that exists that we don't know about that we want
Right.
to work with,
Right. Yeah. Get them all. Got to get them all together. Thank you so much.
Thank
Kevin.
you.
And that wraps up our Q&A portion of the ACA Executive Summit. On behalf of Kevin Jamison of Veterans Community Project, thank you so much for joining us. Can we have one more round of applause for Kevin? And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.